Actually, my mind's blown. I've seen this, but I don't think you've ever explained it to me quite like that. Pretty awesome. How does this relate to what you wanted to talk about, the previous week's trade?
Yeah, so let's take a look at the previous week's trade. So last week, I talked about this idea that we would have, the last week started off over here. And we talked about the idea that the price would fall, right? The price would fall, and then that would be the perfect entry. Why? Because we are always looking for a pullback before we go in for a 50x long, right? That's the only thing that makes sense. If you get in randomly, you're going to get liquidated constantly. We want to look for perfect entries. And so we did get that. After the week ended, so we moved up into the week. As the week ended, we had this drop. And where did it drop to? Let me actually layer on these indicators so you can actually see a little bit clearer.
That red line, that red bar is where the week began. Is that it?
Yeah, exactly. So over here are levels. Let me just show just for the week.
I just want to explain it in a way that doesn't assume that people who are watching know what all those things are.
No problem. So I'm showing the levels indicator just for the weekly, so we can see what it looks like. So over here is when the week started, this red bar. So I said we're going to probably fall. Where did we fall to? Always to the nearest level. The nearest level was right over here at 105.5. Right? So that's exactly where we fell to. Not a mystery, folks. Not a mystery that's exactly where we fell to. Now, when we don't fall to the level, like over here, actually, this doesn't count because we actually didn't meet the level. Nope, we met it there, we met it there. It always goes to the level, never mind. Oh, here's a great example. Over here, this was the level for this week, right? The week starts over here. This is the level for the week. And the idea, the week started and the price moved up. Tom, you're completely wrong. You're completely wrong that the price is going to go down. The price is moving up. Yeah. What do we always say? The price will often move in the opposite direction to where the week will go on the first day of the week for Bitcoin, which is exactly what happened over here. And then where did we go afterwards? Straight to that line. And just so you're like, hey, Tom, but the price moved a little bit further down. Yeah. Did you notice that it bounced again on this line and again on this line and again on this line? It's the line. That's the level it's going for. All right. The next week it bounced up. Where did it bounce up to? To this line over here. Moved up, came back down. Anyway, so the level for the week, that's why I was essentially, I wasn't 100% certain that the price would fall there. I'm just saying that if it's going to fall, that's where it's going to fall to. So that's where you would place your entry. And I said we would then rocket up, right? Now, I was thinking we would go all the way to 150. I'm very optimistic about that. Wrong about that part, but I think we're just taking a little bit longer in order to achieve that because it is summer. But we bounced exactly off that line and moved straight up. Now, when we take a look over here at this level, we also have other confluences. Right now, I'm just showing you the weekly level. If I were to move this and show you the daily, you would see that we actually have daily levels here as well, right? Actually, let me make this a little bit cleaner so you can see. All right, so we have these daily levels over here. So why did the price move a little bit past my weekly? Because it was a daily nearby, little birdie. Daily nearby. That's actually the more accurate level, right? The daily, because it's nearby a magnet for that level. Okay, that's great, Tom. What else is there? Oh, the RSI oversold. Another confluence. And hey, let me toss on Wave on there. We won't go through Wave this week. We'll go through it a different week. But if I toss on Wave over there, I'll see that it's meeting the monthly level there too. This blue teal monthly level is also meeting there as well. Oh, and also there's a long-term trend over there for Wave as well. So there's all these supportive flows all coinciding right around this area or right around this whole area over here. So I know when the price gets over here, there's plenty of liquidity in order for it to bounce. This is why the indicators are so useful. I know you just want an indicator, or a lot of people want an indicator, you just toss on a chart and it just says buy and sell. But if you're a thinking trader and you look at stuff like this, you go, hey, if the price gets here, it'd be a perfect move. And that's exactly what happened. So that was for last week. Where did the price bounce up to? Well, first, let's just zoom in here. It bounced up to, let me remove wave. It bounced up to this daily level to begin with. Why? Because that daily level wasn't cleared yet. It bounced there. Then it futzed around a bit. And where did it go when the bullish move continued? To the next level over here. Not random, folks. Not random. We're surfacing the underlying dynamics of the chart. Now, I can wax on poetically about how this is how institutional traders and sovereign wealth funds and the micro sailors of the world are hiding their purchases. They hide it around these levels. They want the price to pull back. They buy in at those levels, and that's why you get these reliable bounces at those levels, because those orders are sitting on the order book waiting for the price to get there. It's because otherwise they would just be buying in and the price would just be skyrocketing. So you get these levels that show up, these volume weighted average prices, because that's how, if you need to scale in $100 million worth of Bitcoin, you buy at those levels. That's why it matters. But you don't have to worry about that. Just take my word for it.
Don't worship me.
Don't worship me. Don't worship me, folks. All right, so that was for last week. So we didn't get the move higher up because we are we're inside of a summer period, so we have this lower volume that's going to happen just naturally. There's less people around. But if we take a look here at the and by the way, that trend indicator I was telling you about that we talked about previously, if you take a look over here and if you just had the trend, the trend indicator actually synthesizes a bunch of the information I just told you into just that indicator. So if I were just to show you because the levels are matching, they're matching up. So if I just were to hide everything else and just show you the trend, you would say, oh, okay, we're overall bullish on the higher time frames, weekly, monthly, 3 month. We got a red period over here. So that should be, as soon as this red happens, you should be looking for an entry. You go in this window, the entry will happen. But you notice this red happened before the price even fell down over here. Mm-hmm. So I knew that as soon as it's happened, now the countdown is beginning to where I'm going to get to that level down there, which is exactly where we got to. So this tells me, oh, I could take note. We're about to get there. Enter in, boom, bounce back up, yellow, green. Okay, so the reason why we haven't blown off yet is because of our trend levels. Okay, now it gets a little bit messy.
All right, hang on.
If you're a real trader, you can read the chart.
If you're a real trader, if you're a real trader, what?
You can see through these lines: blonde, brunette, redhead, that sort of thing.
All right. Are we moving away from the previous week? Because before we do that, I have a question.
No, just finish it off the previous week here.
Well, maybe this is a good opportunity. Maybe this is a good opportunity for me to tell everyone, and correct me if I'm wrong, Tom, all of these indicators are available for free when you sign up to sacredprofit.com, and more. Like any additional indicators will also be included in this, again, at zero cost. Is that right?
Just to be clear, the reason why I include other indicators, a growing list of other indicators that are useful, are just to show how useful my indicators are. I'm like, let me take the headache off your hands. All right? One, let me make it free. Let me make it free so that you can just try it out. You don't have to worry about it. Then there are probably indicators you're paying for right now that are costing you, $50 a month all the way to, I've seen some at $10,000 a year. I'm going to make them, put them in the library. You can use them just to get the headache off your shoulders, because I want you to use that money in order to trade. So you're going to find a bunch of indicators within the library, and it's growing, that you would actually have to pay hefty amounts for in order to get. So I do that in order to make it dead simple for you to realize, hey, maybe Tom's indicators, Sacred Profit's indicators, are the best ones to use. That's why I do it that way. You'll find useful things in the library. You'll use it for your own trading. You'll make millions off of that. Great, fantastic, happy for you. But you don't have to. You don't have to pay huge subscription fees for other indicators if you find similar ones within the library. Just saying. Just saying.
I don't know. You sound a little bit. You were talking earlier about how you moved away from freedom, liberty, Ron Paulness to holy global empire fascism, but you still seem like Robin. You still seem like the man of the people here, at least to me.
Peter, if you can profit, if you can make money by selling a product that costs nothing, that's just like a genius level move. That's a big brain Machiavellian move. That's how I feel. I used to sell it. And you know what used to bother me, Peter? When you sell a product, what is one of the things that bothers me? The people feel entitled to be able to like ask you questions and bother you about things. But when I make it free, I'd be like, I'm going to do whatever the hell I want to do. And you're either going to take it or not take it. You can go back, little birdie, and pay $5,000 a month for whatever it is you're paying for, or you can get it for free, but you're going to have to suffer the whims of whatever it is I'm doing.
You underestimate my power.
That's just how it's going to be.
You have people or had people reaching out to you to build these indicators.
Yeah, I spent years building indicators and strategies for people all around the world for all kinds of different assets, all kinds of different time frames, all kinds of different risk parameters. I had experimental things. I had things that took months and months to build. I had things that were, quick and easy. And then I saw what people were paying me and different services. And I was like, wow, this is crazy. It takes someone with the vision that I have in order to make something that's worth tens of thousands of dollars and give it away for free. Now, to be fair, as you use them, I will get richer.
Yes.
And there will be a point where I become rich enough that I'm not going to do this anymore. That's why it's important that you join now, because there's a ticking clock on the service.
I don't think
spend
that's
the next
true.
10 years of my life serving you guys. That's not going to happen.
No, I
I'm
don't
just
think
here
that's
to what the order liquidity says. And once the fourth turning is done, I'm going to go enjoy the first turning and I'm going to be gone, guys. This is the time to make your money.
Yeah, but those indicators will still be there and people will still be able to use them. I don't think you're going to delete these things.
I will burn them to the ground. Every single one of them. I'm going to rip them from the internet. I'm going to spend half my money making sure that I just peel it out. Like I'm taking pee out of water. Make sure I filter that stuff out so you never have them again. Use them now, folks. Now's the only time you can use them. All right, just to finish off last week. So this is an indicator. Let me start again. One of the key things you have to pay attention to on the charts are trend levels, trend lines, right? Those are those lines you're seeing on the chart right now. I have yet to find or build the perfect trend line indicator. I am working on it. I have several different versions. I've tried some. You guys might have seen the free one I posted on Traders Post called Auto Trend Lines. I have a demo one also inside Auto Pivot Levels. Yeah, within the library. I'm not very happy with all of them. I want trend lines that are drawn to trend lines that I see. I want it to happen automatically. It's not there yet. So that's why it's useful to come and watch Sunday Fuel in order to be able to get some of these levels. But as you're seeing over here, the price hit one of these long-term trends, stalled out over there, and moved back down. Now there's these two levels here. Just take a look at these three lines. There's this line over here, this line over here, and this line over here. So you have to imagine that trend lines, if you're imagining a river that you're floating on, that you can't see, you're blind. And there's logs and rocks and stuff that are also in the river, some moving down with you, some that are stationary. What happens is that the price, you hit up against certain things in the river that you can't see. So you can't tell how long that trend line is, or how thick it is, or how meaty it is. You can't tell. The price tells you as it's trying to move around it. But as the price bumps up against it, you can tell, hey, there's this pressure the price is trying to get past this trend line. And depending on how strong it is, if it's weak enough, you know it'll eventually pass. Or the trend might be too strong and cause the price to move back down until it gains more steam, which is what we saw last week. Over here, the price tried 1, 2, 3 times in order to get past this trend line, and it didn't. It fell back down towards our wave level in order to get more energy. Then what we saw for all of Saturday, which happens all the time, Saturday, almost all Saturday is always a straight level. Did I ever mention this before, Peter? I think I mentioned it a couple of weeks ago.
I think so.
Saturdays for Bitcoin are almost always a flat day. So that's Saturday over here. You can see Saturday over here, flat day. You see Saturday over here, flat day. It happens again and again. Always has this flat day. So you sort of ignore Saturday. And then you take a look at what happens on Sunday. And here the price now jumped up above this trend level. Try to peek up. We got some wicks. It pulled back down. I hope we're not getting too granular here, Peter. It moved up past this level. It moved back down, wick down to this level, and now bounced up to that level. Where? To our daily level. The daily level set. This is the daily level that was set last Friday. This level over here. So I always knew, we always know, that the price is likely to get back to that level. So even as this price fell down over here, I knew we're likely to get over here. Okay, so we moved up Saturday, nothing happens. Sunday, we have to move up over here. So the question is now what happens? Now we're further away from this trend line than we were before. So we need way more energy to get there. All right. So what seems likely to happen? Well, that's for last week. This is why where we are right now.
SacredProfit.com, head over there, sign up. It's free. Every indicator that you see that Tom is using, that he's talked about, they're all available for free. If you need some help understanding a little bit more how to use it and all that stuff, you can contact him. We are going to be doing tutorial series on this channel very soon, so I highly recommend that you like and subscribe. And if you want to get some of those calls, the calls that he's going to be putting out to people, head over to Sacred Profit on X. He's optimized for 50x leverage, so he really only talks about the things, big swings, right? Big swings, and you got to get a perfect entry. But that doesn't mean that that's exactly how you have to trade. These indicators can help you with whatever style that you're in. You've seen it demonstrated here today. If you're watching a clip right now and you didn't watch the whole stream, I highly recommend you go and find that clip. I'm going to be posting it online that explains the indicators, that explains how to use them and the philosophy behind them. It'll be extremely useful for you. SacredProfit.com. Do it now.